welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So, getting right into this, I just finished listening to an older Tim Ferriss podcast with Cal Fussman. It was an older podcast from February of 2016, and here's a picture of Cal Fussman from Wikipedia. And if you don't know who he is, I'm actually reading this now off of Wikipedia. He's an American journalist and author. He's a writer at large for Esquire magazine, known for What I've Learned column. Okay, some of his interviews, this is an incredible list. Mikhail Gorbachev, Jimmy Carter, Ted Kennedy, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, Jack Welch, Robert De Niro, Clint Eastwood, Al Pacino, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, Bruce Springsteen, Dr. Dre, Quincy Jones, Woody Allen, Barbara Walters, Pele, Yao Ming, Serena Williams, John Wooden, and Muhammad Ali, and a ton more. So the point of this video here, well, let me just give you a little background. So Cal Fussman always wanted to be a writer, journalist. His first job was with a magazine called Inside Sports. So Inside Sports was kind of like a Sports Illustrated, or trying to be. Had great writers talking about sports, in-depth interviews. Long story short, the magazine didn't make it, right? So Cal Fussman's still in his early 20s, and he decides, oh, I'm going to travel. And there's a whole little story about that, but I won't get into it now. So I believe he's in Iceland. I think that's where he first started, and he has no money, really. Just a little savings from the job at Inside Sports. And basically, he would just go around. Didn't matter where he was going. He was just traveling by bus, whatever. He would just start a conversation with a person, and then maybe they would take him in. It's really fascinating. I highly recommend listening to that older Tim Ferriss podcast with Cal Fussman. So anyway, the point I wanted to make is he said something very interesting. It's like when you're vacationing, you're in a different mind space, right? So the saying is that you travel thousands of miles to see what you see every day in detail, right? So you're excited. When you meet someone, it's like they're the most interesting person in the world, especially if you're a traveler, right? And you're traveling the world alone, and you're kind of on an adventure, and you're elevated. You're like this. Everything seems crisp and real and interesting. Let me give you the example. I live in New York. I've worked in Manhattan my whole life, and I've always been amazed at like people, like tourists, like taking pictures and like, wow, this is Broadway, and look, 42nd Street and Central Park, the whole thing. Oh, we're in Little Italy, the whole thing. And it's like, what? Like for 30 years, I saw this every day. It's like you see what I mean? It's that whole idea for these people. This is the greatest city in the world, New York City, the greatest city, the most incredible, the richest city, New York City. And it's the same thing with us. So I'm a New Yorker. When we'd go on vacation, we'd go to a small country town, or who knows where we'd go, this small little place. You'd go to a restaurant high, and the place is so exciting, and you're meeting the most interesting people in the world. And so Colin Wilson, another hero of mine, talked about this. If you could just get into that mind space where every day is like you're on vacation. I know that sounds corny and all that, but it's true. Look at your life and pay attention, right? You travel the world to pay attention to things that you take for granted. I'm paraphrasing that quote, but that's what it is. Okay, on that note, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk. And check out Cal Fussman. Oh, and by the way, I looked up, I always do this, his wife. Boy, she's not too bad, huh? And he's kind of like this little guy, if you listen to the interview, he loves beautiful women. There are some guys who have this extra elevated thing about hot chicks. I mean, who doesn't? But there's some guys more than others. All right. Okay, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.